On this episode, we discuss Wuthering Heights.
Wrong, Dan. You forgot the quotation marks. Do it again.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
And I'm Elliot Kalin.
Oh, there's something a little different about Elliot today. I can't put my finger on it. But
Or perhaps you maybe if I talk slightly more, you'll understand what's different about me today.
I think it's because Elliot is drawing attention to the fact that when this episode releases, Stuart is going to be floating down the Danube River, which crosses Germany.
I actually didn't know that. So.
I'm just trying to acclimate Stuart to what he's going to hear when he is in Europe. Yeah, because they all talk a little like this, very coy. Oh, I have a little secret or surprise. Ooh,
Well, it's good to know.
And
I'd hate to look like an idiot over there.
And of course, what's more Wuthering Heights than Germany?
Yep.
And a slightly sinister German accent. What could be more?
Hey everyone who's listening. This is the Flophouse. It's a podcast where we watch we used to say a bad movie, a movie that critics or audiences rejected. This is an interesting case because this was a huge financial success,
enormous
actually.
Hit. A bit especially for a movie like this nowadays. This was a huge hit. Yeah.
It was
and
polarizing critically. Let's say that.
I would say the pre-release press was very positive, a lot of which turned out to be paid advertisement.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, I would say though that the success of this movie would point me towards an appetite for this kind of movie that is so not being met by Hollywood that whenever a movie comes out like this, I think it will do well for a while until people get tired of them. But because I don't think because I know a lot of people who went to see this movie opening weekend, and then when I talked to them right afterwards, we're not satisfied with it. We're not really happy with it. Yeah.
There are a lot of appetites not being met by Hollywood right now. It would seem that appetites for most kinds of films are not being met.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's unusual.
But especially when this is the
industry
kind
dedicated to not making stuff.
I mean, it was a bad thing when the Hollywood studios realized they could probably make more money if they made fewer movies as opposed to more movies
money
for more people.
for less movie.
Yeah, exactly. But but especially because, and we'll get into it, like this is the kind of movie that Hollywood used to excel at. Nobody could make this kind of movie as well as the Hollywood Dream Factory. Big budget, costume drama, big stars, big passions, big screen. A big guy, Jacob Elordi, is tall. He's a very tall man.
He's a big one.
I was watching this with my wife, and we started calling him Timothy Chalamet because he looks like if Timothy Chalamet was kind of stretched out on a rack.
Yeah. Like you took a mouse and put him on a stretcher.
Exactly. Yeah, don't do that, please. Don't do that. Yeah.
Not even for science.
No. What would you be learning? Oh, mice don't survive. Yeah, well, I think we can figure that out.
Yeah, it's a stretchability of mice.
Have you guys?
I'm studying the elastability of mice. This is what you're studying? Oh, yeah, it's what my PhD is on. The varying levels of elasticity in mice. What have you found? There is none. But I got to keep testing just in case.
I will say,
lack of evidence is not evidence of lack, you know.
They're actually pretty good at squeezing into gaps that are much smaller than you would expect them
That's
to.
very true.
That's
and I have some kind of gross stories I can tell you about off.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know about what gaps you didn't think a mouse would squeeze into. You suddenly found a mouse in.
So, Elliot, let me. I just sent you an email. Don't open it in front of your children.
Okay, you got it.
Before we start, I want to say that
we're like 5 minutes in.
Before we start actually talking about Wuthering Heights,
about those heights that weather, yeah.
I recently read the novel for the first time, in part because
the novelization by Alan Dean Foster.
No, the Bronte novel.
Brontosaurus.
Yep. In part because I knew that we were thinking about doing this, and I'm like, Stuart can't be the only one who does homework for this. You know, he watched all those Silent Hills. I'm gonna read.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna read Wuthering Heights.
You're gonna do
similar levels of commitment.
The literary equivalent of the Silent Hill movies, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Yeah.
Actually, And this is important because this is a gap in my my knowledge. I have not read Wuthering Heights. I'm more of a Jane Eyre guy, but that's a different Bronte. That's a Bronte of a different source.
That's a different Bronte.
I had read Jane Eyre.
Different
by
Bronte.
different
Yeah.
Brontosaurus.
That's by Charlotte Apatosaurus. Yeah.
Elliot, have you read Wuthering Heights?
No, I have not read Wuthering Heights. My wife has read it more than once, and so I was watching this with her, and she was pointing out to me all the stuff that was different.
She was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
So I felt like she was my Sherpa through this.
It is wildly different. It is, as Stuart pointed out in a part of the intro that may or may not have made it in, there are quotation marks. Oh, you did. You said it. That was the whole intro. Yeah, like the quotation marks are huge in this. It is, quote, Wuthering Heights. It is
Wuthering
a
Heights
version.
Ish.
It should have been called Wuthering Heights-ish. That would have been a great name for it, to be honest. Because I think this movie, well, we'll get to it in our final judgment somewhere. Like, this movie is looking to explode and kind of like extremify Wuthering Heights in that Emerald Fennell style. And I find that it consistently does not achieve that in a way that made an impact on me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, gotta admit, it looks great. It's not, I don't love it as a movie, but it would be a great magazine spread. Those outfits.
Yes.
That decor.
There's a reason why this trailer was a huge success, and also why the movie, I would say in large part why the movie was a huge success, was that you have like maximalist imagery, you have two big stars, and you have a soundtrack dominated by one of the premier pop stars of the age, who's also a huge cinephile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I can see why the trailer is super successful, and the trailer is great. Like it got me excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then as you see that the content from that trailer like drawn out into a larger film, not to spoil things, I don't think it totally works. Now I do have to.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I was just going to say before I go into the summary, I do have to point out that I am I'm starting the recovery stage of a case of strep throat. So you may find my voice a little bit sexy. And if you find people that are very sick sexy, maybe this movie's for you.
So if you're listening to this in a public place and you feel the urge to masturbate to Stuart's voice, please get off the bus or subway you're on. Find a private place to do it.
That are wuthering.
And you just find a private place. Just wuthering those heights. Just wuthering.
Go find yourself
Jacob
a blasted
stumble
moor.
across you.
A blasted heath.
Find yourself a blasted heath and blast on it. That heath, was that a blasted heath? It is now. Yeah.
It is now, yeah.
Please.
The Hound of the Blastervilles.
Oh man, there's got to be a futuristic Sherlock Holmes in space called the Hound of the Blastervilles, right? If there isn't,
man.
somebody make that right now.
Somebody's fucking
Space
up.
Lock Holmes in the Hound of the Blastervilles.
Dan, stop the podcast. Dan, you go write this shit.
Do it. Actually, Airlock
TM
Holmes.
It right now.
You should be called
That was what I was.
Airlock Holmes. It should be Airlock Holmes in the Hound of the Blastervilles. Dan, this is what you need to be working on next. Yeah.
Okay.
And Watson is a robot.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. It's
Wow,
an
we just gift wrapped
acronym.
that
It's
Yeah, Watson is like
W period A
it's like
period.
wireless Android serving blah 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 blah. I can't tell the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to do everything. Dan can fill
Dan,
mad
I'll
libs
get
the
you.
rest
You're
of the
writing this,
shit.
Dan. You do the work. Okay, come on. I'm not going to do the work for you. You know.
Okay. So the movie, a movie about romance and passion, of course, opens with the hanging of a criminal.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is when the movie is making a real strong case that this is not your daddy's or your granddaddy's Wuthering Heights. And this is I would say this scene is a statement of purpose. And once you've seen it, I feel like you maybe don't need to see the rest of the movie. Like this scene is basically doing what the rest of the movie wants to. Because what's going on when they're hanging the criminal, Stuart?
Well, we have a blank screen and we are hearing the sounds of like taut fabric and grunts and like rustling, and
There was nearly 30-odd foot of grunt that I
and
you
and you're
so
like, what are
many
you going to do
feet.
with all that grunt? What's that
All
even
that
gonna
I mean, you're
cost
not
you?
even going to use
inside
most of
your-
that grunt. It's just going to sit around in your garage for years.
Yeah.
Well, so it very much the movie begins and you're like, are there people fucking or is somebody dying? And of course, there's a person being hung. But the look on the faces of the crowd, it could be either. They're really into it. And one of the people that's
particularly
really
a
into
nun who appears to be in ecstasy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the people in the crowd just start having sex right in the town square, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's like Ken Russell's
you
The Devils.
might have flipped the channels, Elliot. And this is where we start meeting our characters. So I'm going to kind of jump ahead here to the idea that we are going to meet the people who populate Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is the name of a dilapidated manor house. And one of the people that is currently watching this hanging is Kathy, a young girl who is very into watching a guy die. Her father is Mr. Earnshaw, who is a drunk and a gambler and kind of a lout who is driven by he has some impulse control issues.
Played by Doc Martin himself, Ewan Mitchell.
Oh,
right?
Really?
Oh, no, sorry, Martin Clunas.
Buy a
Martin
pair of
Clunas.
shoes?
No, Doc Martin himself, Martin Clunas. I suddenly glanced the wrong name in the literature. Do you guys know the show Doc Martin, where he's like a grumpy doctor in a
aware
seaside
My
of
town?
parents love it.
It's a thing that my parents have watched.
My mom loves it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty fun show, and it was very fun. And in that show, he is the guy who's like, he's like kind of a grump, and he's like doesn't like all these other characters. So it was very funny to see him as the guy sliding into decadence and just being a disgusting gremlin of a man.
Yeah.
In this one, I liked his performance a lot. It's very it's very Klaus Kinski.
We also have Nellie, who is kind of a lady's maid who has been taken in by the family to look after Kathy.
Yeah, well, in this version, she's a companion to Kathy.
Yep.
She's more a straight up housekeeper in the book. She's not the bastard child of anyone. Here, she's supposed to be actually the daughter of someone important who has been kind of disowned or what like that. It doesn't really figure into anything. There's also this weird implication that maybe she's in love with Kathy that doesn't really get explored.
There's a little bit of that. Yeah, in the movie there's a little bit of that, and there's also a little bit of an idea that she kind of is struggling for to maintain her station, or better, to survive outside, to, like her namesake, be like a bird. She wants to fly away. Her namesake, of course, Nellie Furtado.
Yes, of course.
To be clear,
that's who the character was named after. Yeah.
To be clear, I'm saying that the film appears to add a tiny bit of lesbian subtext. There's none of that in the book.
I did not pick up on that, but I did pick up on the idea that Nellie kind of feels a sense of possessiveness over Kathy. Maybe if only because without Kathy, she will slip out of this station and just be on her own, poor and out and about. And as we know from every other thing set in 19th century England, if you did not have money, you were essentially living in slime like a serpent, and your teeth fell out, and you just were the best job you could get would be taking orphaned babies and slamming their heads against walls. That was what it was like in England at the time if you didn't have money. Yeah.
One person we will not be meeting is Kathy's brother, who has died in this version. He is a big character in the book, mostly because the book, there's a whole second half of the book that's about the children of various characters and how they're caught up in Catherine Heathcliff's doomed love after Catherine has died. She dies,
spoiler alert,
a little bit more than earlier than midway through the book, but most of the adaptations just focus on the first half because I guess they're just this is what people are here for, this love story.
And also the story gets complicated and the story gets weirder after that part from what I know of it. And that's this is a book that I always hear about it, and if I want to hear about it, as a progenitor or a part of Gothic literature. And I think the Gothic aspect of that is usually removed from the stories. The stuff about, eventually in the book, Heathcliff is digging up Kathy's body at night, right? To spend time with it. And he talks about how he's done that a couple times. And I don't know how many adaptations include that stuff in it. They don't want to see the dissolute, kind of weird Heathcliff. They want to see the young, hot Heathcliff,
Mm-hmm. Also,
maybe that was implied in ways I didn't catch. I did know that he would go and lie by her grave.
But Heathcliff, he is no good and terrorizes the neighborhood. Yeah.
But it's important you bring up Heathcliff because he is the last major character that lives in Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff is a waif who was, I guess, assisting his father as a corpse picker or something. I don't know what it was.
Corpse picker.
But he's the only person at the hanging who does not have a smile plastered on his face. And then later that evening, Kathy's father finds him being kicked by his father and adopts him and brings him to Wuthering Heights to be part of the family. So he is kind of Kathy's adopted brother. Now, this character, from my understanding in the book, is described as not a tall, handsome white guy, right? He's described as being like
unclear exactly what his ethnicity is, but he is described as being darker, like he might be Romani. It's not clear, but there was a whitewashing controversy over Jacob Elordi being Heathcliff.
And it was not as bad as him playing in Frankenstein a person of color, that color being blue. But he's
a man of many colors.
That's a dumb joke. I think they do, one of the things they do in this one is that my understanding of the Wuthering Heights story is that Heathcliff really has to feel like an outcast, right? Like there has to be something like so passionately charismatic about him, but Catherine knows if she's in a relationship with him, it is unacceptable. It will drag her down. And I feel like this movie, there were times where I'm like, I don't know, why doesn't Kathy just marry Heathcliff? They live by themselves in this weird old house. They don't seem to interact with anybody else. Who gives a shit? Like, just marry him. He just seems like a dude. I don't know. Just do it. Who cares?
And he also seems much nicer in this. He is a real fucking asshole in the book in a way that, like, I found very entertaining.
He's no good. He terrorizes the neighborhood. Yeah.
I found very entertaining, but I'm like, this is the romantic hero that all the ladies are swooning for? Okay.
He's a bad boy. You just want to reform him, tame him. Yeah. But in this one, he's not that bad a bad boy. Kathy is like a kind of like a real pouty kind of like, like difficult.
She is a classic brat.
Yeah, she's a brat, exactly. And Heathcliff seems to be the one who often is like, Kathy, don't do that. But also, I think this is something that we should just get out of the way, that Margot Robbie, I think she's a great actress. I think she's really wonderful. I can see why they cast her in this. She is not right for this part, though. She's like, you don't believe that she is an impressionable young woman. I don't believe that either of these characters, Heathcliff or Kathy, have not had sex before. Like, that's something I feel like you need to buy from these characters, is that they are young and excited by passions they don't understand, and I just I couldn't believe that from them.
Yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie is like, this is a crazy thing to say, but I think for this specific role, she is too old.
It's crazy because she's not too old for most roles. But if she's playing a character who's supposed to be in her late teens, basically, like she just carries herself like a woman and why wouldn't she? She is incredibly successful. She knows what she's doing. She produced the biggest movie and starred in the biggest movie of last year, the year before, whenever Barbie came out. Like she kind
is
of
great in most things.
It's great in most things. She's kind of has too much. She's one of the few things in Babylon that I think works is her performance. That was just a slight dig at Dan's love of Babylon.
I'll tell you, I feel so abused about it at this point that anything positive you say about Babylon is just.
I've negged you so hard on Babylon that those few moments where I give you a little bit of sugar on it.
It's going to be wild when I watch Babylon and I'm like, Elliot, Dan was right.
But I think both
it'd be
of
wilder if you're just like, oh, whatever. I'm in the middle.
You're like, I don't have a feeling about it either way. Turn your brain off. Popcorn movie. Forget about it. I think both of the leads in this movie are just not cast right, and it really hurts the movie in a big way. And they're trying their best. I think they're both.
And this was another one of those movies where part of the promotional tour was, how can we make it seem like Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie were fucking while making this movie, even though they are both in relation, or like she was married with a kid.
Which also implies, I'm just going to say it here. We'll talk about it more later. Like a hotter movie than this movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can get into the story. Yeah.
So they the Earnshaws adopt Heathcliff. Basically, he comes to live with them. Dynamic is immediately set up, which is Kathy treats him like he is a pet or like a toy, and he will do anything to protect her, even if it means sacrificing himself. So he will. Even if she does something that would get her in trouble, he takes the blame for it, and thus the physical punishment from her drunkard of a father. And they have
by the way, I don't want to keep doing this too much because whatever. It's got quotation marks around it. But the dad in the book is just kind of like a dad. Eventually, he gets sick and dies. He's not like
classic
the
dad.
drunken wastrel. They've kind of conflated his character with the son who has been written out of this movie. Like later, he loses Wuthering Heights to Heathcliff because he has been gambling so much. They've just combined that.
I think I think about those quotes. The quotes are on the title. Like the thing that I've seen it described as was that Emerald Fennell was getting it, so trying to do something like this is what it feels like to be a young girl and reading this book for the first time. Like it's more a vibe of the book than anything else. So that's I'm willing to buy all the changes from the story and things like that. But anyway, we'll get to our final.
But does the movie work? Let's get to that.
Does it really work? Exactly.
So they, with that dynamic established, there's already an intense connection that the movie makes you immediately aware of, and they are in love. There's no question. There's no moment like, do they kind of like each other? Do they like each other more than friends? No, immediately you're like, they are into it.
Yeah.
Okay, flash forward. It is an unnumbered amount of years later.
I think they have
long enough for Margot Robbie to be very grown up and Jacob Elordi to be still pretty grown up.
I think they have to fudge
Nellie
the fact,
is also very grown up.
Yes, they're all very. And Nellie is now played by Hong Chow, who I just saw in.
Again, Hong Chow is great in things. This is probably her least. Her most thankless role next to The Whale, which is a piece of shit of a movie. I saw this, and then I saw The Sheep Detectives, which she's a supporting character, and I was like, I really like her performance in The Sheep Detectives. I wish that they gave her more to do and she's in a lot of this movie, but they don't give her a lot to do other than kind of look disdainfully or disapprovingly at things. She's so great in The Menu. She's great in things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so flash forward. Everybody's a little bit grown up. Mr. Earnshaw has left Wuthering Heights a ruin. He is a horrible drunk who has let everything fall apart. Nellie is older, a little bit bitter at her situation. Kathy is brattier than ever.
The problem is Kathy keeps trying on bathing suits and not liking the way she looks at them and going, ack!
Yeah. Chocolate. And Heathcliff.
What other comic strips can we pull into this one? What if it really was, they were like, it's Wuthering Heights in quotes, and it is the comic strip character Kathy and the comic strip character Heathcliff the cat in a relationship? Well, would that be better? Maybe a little bit.
And then they had a happy ending, for the kids.
Exactly, yeah.
And then their neighbor moves in, Dagwood Bumstead.
Uh-oh.
They are always thinking over
sandwiches.
when he's trying to take a nap. Kathy bothers him.
Okay, so Heathcliff at this point is like a rugged mountain man with a crazy beard and super long hair.
Yeah.
And a tall body covered in ropey muscles. If this was a romance novel, it would be described as he has a body that was built from hard work, not bought at the gym.
Oh. I mean, this
is bitch, that's hard work.
Yeah, why are we
denigrating any kind of effort? Yeah, but you could say that that this is not a romance novel, but a romantic novel in the old sense of romanticism. So there's kind of like that, yeah.
Okay, so again, the previously
So do you think
established...
so, Dan? In the original book, does Emily Bronte say he had the kind of body that was earned by work, not bought at the gym?
Well, I mean, she had a real thing against Crunch Fitness.
That's what it was.
She wanted to take it down. So yeah,
take it. Yeah, no judgments. That's fucked up. Okay, so and again, the established dynamic between Heathcliff and Kathy seems to have only extended. They are very clearly into each other. And they spend a lot of time running around on the moors, picking each other up and doing shit like that.
Romance stuff.
I mean, to be fair to them, it is a kind of shorthand for romance that's very old fashioned, but then don't do much. But on the same time, look where they live. There's nothing but moors. There's nothing to do but climb up a crag and sit there.
So are you telling me these two people haven't experimented yet? There's nothing else to do.
There's nothing to do, and there's nobody around. Yeah.
Come see, there's a new thistle. That was what they did.
Yeah. So is it around this point where I actually don't have this part in my notes where Kathy gets mad
when they go to space?
Is this where Kathy gets mad at Heathcliff and goes, she gets mad at Heathcliff and she goes at night, she storms over to the barn that has holes in its roof that he lives in. And she goes up to yell at him and she is interrupted by one of the maids and the stable master. having aggressive BDSM sex.
Aggressive horse-based sex. Yeah, horse-based role play.
Yeah,
horseplay
he is whipping her. and
he puts a bridle in her mouth.
Yeah.
And Kathy like watches through like a knothole from the ceiling. And I'm like,
oh, it's not a hole?
Okay,
I thought it was. What
this movie has stopped being inspired by Wuthering Heights and has started being inspired by the adaptation of the Scarlet Letter at this point.
Yeah.
And this should be a really transgressive, sexy scene, right? But it just can't quite get there. It's like
first of all, there's very little patience involved. I feel like this movie suffers from a total lack of patience. Like there is not a single moment of foreplay in this movie. And ramming the dong in immediately.
And like even with pornography, I would argue, not that I'm a porn expert, but I've had experiences with it. That like the anticipation of what's going to happen is often more arousing than the actual thing, right?
What is this pizza delivery man doing here?
But even just like the first, you see this in movies all the time.
Certainly,
like,
as in
the sexiest part of a love scene in a movie is often in a real movie, not just a porn movie, is often the characters making those first tentative steps towards each other in an intimate way, and then once you get to the actual scenes where it's fake thrusting against each other, you're like, all right, well, I know what this is. Like,
certainly, as an older man, more in touch with my emotions, I'm like, what's the story here? I need to know what's going on. I can't just see bodies. What's the scenario?
What did his stepmom get stuck in? Yeah, that's what Dan is wondering. Yeah.
But it is, you say it has no patience, but the thing that baffles me about this movie, and apologize for jumping ahead a little bit in terms of...
Okay. Is something about the end credits?
No, I'm just like giving
You're like
an
the
opinion.
mid-credit scene where she joins the Avengers.
It's crazy that they gave Jacob Elordi's stunt double second billing in the credits.
What did he even do? I don't even recall any stunts. No, I mean, like, this movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. As I said, it
sure
adapts half of the novel, which is like not much of a story because it's just like, okay, these two people are in love, but they don't get married, and then one of them gets mad about it, and then she dies. And it's like, there's so much just like, this movie dragged so much for me. It seems like...
Well, I think in a better version of the movie, it would be like In the Mood for Love, which is an amazing movie. But we're like...
Yeah. In a better version, it would be an amazing movie.
But where that is a movie that moves slowly because it's building such a thick atmosphere. It's such a feeling. Like, the feeling of it is so strong and so tactile, and like, you're living in it. You're living in the atmosphere of that movie.
You're soaking in it.
You're soaking it. And here I think that's the goal, but you're not really, the air is so thin. Like, the atmosphere is so thin. Like, you're not, it's taking its time as if you are luxuriating in this sweat, for lack of a better word, of the movie, but it's not there. The sweat's not there. I would say it's too dry, but everyone's wet.
There's too much weathering up there. Like, with all that wind,
it's more like Wuthering Heights. Am I right? Just kiss her already.
Right. So while she's watching this through a knothole, yes, it's still a hole. Heathcliff climbs on top of her and puts a hand over her mouth and over her eyes, initially so she can't scream out, and then I guess to like keep her from seeing it, so she can just hear the sounds of horse sex. And
not with it's horseplay. It's horseplay.
The sounds of horse sex.
But it's not horseplay like when kids are horseplaying around in a pool or something like that.
I fucking hope not. And then, of course, this will establish a fetish for Kathy later.
What's the fetish? Sex? Or her having her mouth covered?
Mouth and eyes covered.
Because it's like she's not into horseplay.
I have a crazy fetish. Sex.
Well, it's like there's that old Onion article.
It really turns me on. I don't know what about it.
There's that old Onion article, Local Man Has Naked Lady Fetish, and it's just about what a perv he is, that he just loves to see women without their clothes. Like, he'll even see women in real life and imagine what they look like without their clothes on.
Now, part of the reason this is the moment where after this has opened up a whole new world of pleasure for Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
She starts
just like in Aladdin.
She starts seeing sex in all things, whether it's somebody kneading dough. She's imagining, I don't know, hands kneading her dough. She sits on. She like, the reason she is mad at Heathcliff is she sits down on her bed.
You should be writing romance novels.
I think one of the instigating elements between them like fighting is that I think she puts eggs in his
bed as a prank,
and he sits on it, and like when he reveals the eggs, like it's like all yolk. It's like the thickest yolks you've ever seen.
Yeah, and he runs his fingers through it. Yeah,
and I'm like, as an egg enthusiast, I'm like, damn, give me some of them eggs.
Well, where do you think all those muscles are coming from? You just slurping up that yolk.
Yeah, just
yolk
slurping
total
up
egg.
eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of moments of like close-ups of things like that to indicate sexiness, but it isn't actually
like a slug. There's a slug.
There's a slug. Not since that
slug.
Ben Affleck slug snail movie have slugs been so sexy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A movie that I would say sexier than this one.
I would. That movie certainly creates a torrid atmosphere in a way this doesn't. This one, it's like there's all these close-ups.
A torpid atmosphere.
So, but things in Wuthering Heights aren't going to be normal much longer because they get some new neighbors in the form of Edgar Linton and his ward, Isabella. Edgar, what is like a super rich dude? I don't remember exactly
they're just
what
rich
he
guys.
does for
They're just
money.
rich people, yeah.
What's the name of his... Because back then, like, your fancy house has a name. His name is something like something Grange or something.
It's Thrushcross Grange.
Yeah.
Thrushcross Grange. Not as cool as Wuthering Heights, but it's still pretty cool.
Not as cool.
She's his
Equally
ward in this
nonsensical.
version? Is that what you said?
Described as his ward.
Okay, because they're just brother and sister. In the book.
thought they were. I think they're brother and sister too, but she's like under his.
Oh, okay. It's just
under his
like
governorship
he's
or whatever.
the guy. Yeah.
Okay, so Kathy is spying on her new neighbors, and she falls and she twists her ankle, and Edgar goes outside of their very fancy garden to see Kathy. He is immediately in love. At no point is he not in love with her.
He's in the middle of 19th century England, and he meets Margot Robbie. Like, I have to assume he would fall in love with her instantly. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He looks at her and he's like, this bitch has seen an iPhone before.
There's not a lot of other hot singles in his area, too. That's the other.
True. Yeah, that's actually true. And honestly, like, Isabella, who is probably my favorite character in the movie, is she's like very into ribbons, and I'd be like, give me someone else to talk to.
I think Isabella, Isabel's
sister.
Isabel's the one character in the movie where I'm like, this is getting into the territory I want this movie to get into.
Yeah.
Like, this character has things going on inside of her that are out of the ordinary.
And that actress, I don't remember the actress's name, but she was also in, she was really good on that show, Task, where she plays a character with a much different accent.
This is Alison Oliver, is her name. I'm not familiar with her at all from other stuff, but I really liked her performance in this.
Elliot, if you want to see primarily English and Australian actors doing Delco accents,
Sure.
you gotta check out Task, buddy. It's so funny. They're like, they're putting so much sauce on that shit. It's amazing.
Very specific recommendation.
It's awesome.
I mean,
and it's a good show. It's really fun.
My movie recommendation today is going to be partly because of a specific accent that's in the movie. So Stuart knows exactly who to talk to.
So I know exactly. Like, I got to tell you, check out Task, and it's the preceding show, Mayor of Easttown. Okay. So, Kathy spends what we come to learn is like a month or something at Thrushcross Grange healing, and in that time, Edgar's love has only deepened. He's obsessed with her, and he asks for her hand in marriage. Kathy returns to Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff is pissed. They get in an argument. Kathy reveals to Nellie that Edgar has proposed to her, and that and Nellie steers the conversation, fearing that she will be left alone here in Wuthering Heights to in squalor and garbage.
And we should mention also, Wuthering Heights is a weird-looking house. Like, these sets are not realistic sets. They're weirdly designed. It was like, throughout it, I was like, it's like they bought the sets from an unmade Terry Gilliam version of Wuthering Heights, and then just were like, these are already made. We'll just use them. It's a weird-looking building.
I do like that the entryway, you walk through the place they slaughter pigs.
Yes. The entryway is the slaughter alley, and it's like there's one side of the house and another side of the house, and they're connected. Like it's designed like a TIE fighter. You know,
Dan, is the book described? Do they describe it as looking like a TIE fighter?
Well, I do want to say, like, certainly in the book, the Lintons are more well off than Kathy and her father and the Earnshaws. But like here, it is to a ridiculous degree where as soon as you go to the Linton's place, it's like we're in Marie Antoinette.
And the other thing is, so the Linton. So I kept expecting them to draw some parallel that like Wuthering Heights is a dark, gloomy place, but the Linton house is something she can aspire to where it's not weird. Their house is also very weird. Like they have that fireplace that's made out of plaster casts of human hands. Every wall has a human hand coming out of it holding a flower or a candle or something. You know,
Kathy's room's covered in her skin.
That happens a little bit later.
In the words of another podcast, he made it weird by making her room his skin. But like Audrey pointed out that maybe those hands were meant to evoke the Cocteau Beauty and the Beast, in the sense that she's sort of like not a prisoner in the same way, but like she doesn't necessarily want to be there.
I think that's a really astute connection, and I bet that's accurate. But I would say like that the Earnshaw's or his Edgar's house
Linton's,
should not remind us of the Beast's house, because even if it's the idea that she's like a prisoner there, like it just doesn't fill the same role in the story. Like those characters are not. She's not in the house of a monster who is keeping her prisoner, and she's going to have to find the magic within it. You know.
No, she's clearly a prisoner of her own desires.
Yes.
So
Stuart, that's the name of your romance novel, Prisoner of Her Desires. You got it, Dan. You're writing this Airlock Holmes book. Stuart, you're writing Prisoner of Her Desires.
And she's like, I'm not a number. You are number 69. See, it's a hot book.
It's a hot book.
So,
yeah.
In this conversation,
be fucking you. That's what they say at the end of each conversation.
she ends up arguing with Nellie and tells Nellie that she doesn't understand. She's never been loved or will love anybody. And Nellie steers the conversation in a way so that she has to admit that she is going to accept Edgar's proposal because she can't marry Heathcliff. It's beneath her station.
She says it would degrade her, and
it would degrade her.
Nellie has seen, because of the shadow under the door, that she knows Heathcliff is listening. Heathcliff can hear this, you know.
And we know, based on last parts of the movie, Heathcliff's a freak who likes to peep, you know.
He's a real castle peep.
Yeah, Heathcliff hears this shit, and he ain't having it. So he takes a horse, and he goes riding off into a very interesting, like a very non-English sunset to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, the sun does set there, so I don't know exactly.
But
I heard that the sun never sets.
That's a good point. On the Empire, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, so foggy you can't even tell, you know. Who knows?
That's the thing. They thought that the sun never set in the Empire. It was just the fog.
Just the fog, yeah. And all those pirate ghosts were coming out and bothering them when the sun was setting, and they get distracted and miss it, yeah.
But that's, it's okay. The DJ made it out alive, right?
Yeah, finally, yeah. Thank God.
So,
DJ Tanner from Full House. We're just free associating now.
Yeah, Kathy wakes up. She's like, oh, wait, I made a big mistake. I think I love Heathcliff. And it's like, no fucking shit, idiot.
But you knew that already. You knew that. That wasn't a new information, Kathy.
I shouldn't have accepted this guy's proposal or whatever. Yeah. And then she finds out, oh, wait, Heathcliff dipped. He already left. What? And he took one of the horses. So she spends a whole year of
you know
longing.
What happens in that horse barn. You know what he's doing with that horse, yeah. So.
Yep. So she spends a year of longing, waiting for him to come back.
This is when she gets married. Edgar upholsters her bedroom in walls meant to look like her skin, including the veins.
But she waits a whole year before getting married.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And then they get married. They have one of these weddings where she's wearing all black. One of those normal weddings. And he upholsters her bedroom walls to look like her skin, including her beauty marks.
Which is funny because it's like he should do
soft.
That. Yes, and so he should do that for his room. It doesn't make sense for her room to be like that. Yeah. She's not attracted to her own skin, as far as I can tell, but he is. So anyway.
So we get a little bit of a montage of wedded bliss, which is basically just like goofing around the house.
It really looks like they are just hanging. They're just having a staycation over winter break or something like that. They're just hanging around.
And Isabella has like given up her ribbon room so that Kathy can have a room. And like Isabella is,
and also that house must be enormous. Like there's plenty of rooms. They can both have rooms, you know.
And Isabella has almost like a childlike mind. She is very naive, and she brings a naivete that like you kind of would think that the Kathy character would also have to some extent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kathy goes back.
Is this when she gives her like the book she made of all the different like things that Kathy looked at or pointed at that Isabella?
Yeah, this is
obviously
like the second character. The second character where I'm like, is everyone in love with Kathy? Like, is that what's going on?
It's Margot Robbie, Dan. It's Margot Robbie.
I get it. It's just it's interesting that like I feel like that is laid into the movie without really it meaning anything,
But it is
Well,
a thing where people seem to love her or be obsessed with her without her doing anything.
Yes. I will say that there's so right now I'm reading The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. And the main character in that, she is this kind of woman where she's so beautiful and she has such grace and elegance that just her presence, people become very obsessed with her, but in a way that ultimately hurts her in the long run. But like it's just like people are so drawn to her that they all seem to want to be around her or be close to her. And I would kind of, if that's what they were going for with this, I would buy it. But I'm like, I feel like they don't go, again, with a lot of things in movies, they don't go quite far enough. For a movie that's supposed to be like shocking and like titillating, I feel like they don't go far enough in that idea of like, she's just so charismatic that everyone's drawn to her and wants to be involved with her in some way,
I'm just glad you say it hurts her in the long run. I'm like, oh, did an Edith Wharton book turn out sadly?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now,
she also makes
now,
some mistakes. She makes some mistakes.
Sure,
Request to marry
everyone.
rich. Yeah.
Kathy goes to check in on her dad, who has become like a weird little Gollum gremlin who is begging for.
Not literally, but
I mean, almost literally. Like his teeth are rotting. He's just sitting in a corner, drunk, going, ooh.
And he's begging for money. And when she throws some money on the ground, he's like, "No, don't go. You got to watch me pick it up."
He goes, my punishment is you have to watch me pick up every penny. And but he's essentially turning into the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies. Like that's where he is right now. But also, like, there seem to still be people working at the house, so it's not like he still has a couple servants, and yet he's still somehow turning into a bog gremlin.
I mean that's a classic English folk tale, right? About a guy who turns into a bog gremlin. Okay, so happy news though, everybody. Kathy's pregnant. She probably got pregnant when she has sex with Edgar, and she makes him cover her eyes and mouth like Heathcliff did.
Sure.
And he was like, "That was crazy, bae." So, of course, those happy tidings are brought along by a return of Heathcliff. Heathcliff's back, and this time, guess what, guys? He's hot now.
And he's rich. He shaved his beard.
He's always hot.
Come on.
No way, he's hot now. He's got a little gold tooth.
He was hot in like a caveman way, whereas now he's hot in like a dignified gentleman way.
Sure.
But like, there's a dignified gentleman with an earring. What?
Yeah, and he's got frilly cuffs that I love the cuffs on his shirts. They're so frilly. It's great.
Yeah.
That was what
guys,
was hot
he looks
back
cool.
in that. Yeah.
He looks like Lynch from Team 7.
Yeah, he does. You know what, Stu? I didn't even think about it. He does look like Lynch from Team 7. He's like Jacob Elordi should start in the Young Lynch Adventures.
Yeah, he looks like he should be. He could play Sebastian Shaw in the Hellfire Club with this getup.
Yes, I mean,
okay, finally a reference I know.
Finally a comic book reference that Dan's familiar with. Yeah. From the 80s instead of the 90s. Yeah.
And he comes back.
He would be great casting for Sebastian Shaw. To be honest, like if it was a younger Sebastian Shaw, he would be great in it. Yeah.
And he's back. He is rich from some mysterious means. He never kind of reveals it. Dan, in the book,
no,
do
we
they
don't
ever
learn.
explain what's he just shows up and he's rich now.
But the assumption is he did something bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no way
Elliot, anytime somebody becomes rich, they did something bad.
Yeah. Well, not always. Not always. There's one or two people who got rich not doing bad things.
Okay.
George Lucas. That's one of them.
Yeah. Okay, so Heathcliff returns. He and Kathy, they still have a will they, won't they. They're clearly still very much into each other. And meanwhile, Heathcliff buys Wuthering Heights from her father, probably tricks him out to like ease his gambling debts.
I mean, I think at this point he's sunken so far he just has to throw some money on the floor, and he'd probably
shortly
be like,
after.
Oh, yes, I'll sell the house. Me coins.
Shortly after the dad dies,
hobbitses want to buy me house. Yeah, exactly.
Kathy goes to his house. To find him lying on his back in a room with like mountains of bottles
2 piles
in the corners.
of bottles framing him. I like some of the extravagant stuff. I'm like, come on. This I like.
Some of the images really work, and that one works.
When it's taking something that makes sense in the story and like exaggerating it to a grotesque degree.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that. I really like that. When it's just doing strange things for atmosphere, but they're not really connected to what's happening.
Yeah,
there,
when they
I'm
go
like,
to the other side or whatever, the upside down. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, the whole dream sequence where it's the 1930s all of a sudden, and they're just Lindy hopping all over the place. Yeah, that didn't
Like,
work
wait, I gotta go to a play to understand this? Not for me. JK, you should go to the play. My neighbor's in it, and I want to support her.
This is what the Stranger Things play?
Yeah, she's in the Stranger Things play.
It would be so funny. It would be so funny if halfway through this movie, Ahsoka turned up, and it was like, wait, I had to watch Ahsoka to understand the Wuthering Heights adaptation? Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. There's also when Kathy is raging over her father's death, she initially seems sad about it, and then out of anger, she starts kicking him, and she kicks him in the head, and his teeth come flying out.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. That's grotesque. Okay.
So when consoling her at the funeral, Heathcliff consoles Kathy, and that immediately turns to them hooking up. And again, you would think we are this late in the movie. You would think that this is the moment where like they are going to connect and they are giving into their passions. This is like, give me some fucking Zalman King shit here. No dice. They just start hooking up and you're like, okay, I guess they're hooking up now. Like there's no like build. It doesn't feel like a payoff. It doesn't feel like an eruption. You know?
It's just kind of like a montage of them having sex in different places. And I think it's supposed to have that feeling of like, they unleashed. Oh wow! Like the flood walls. If the flood has knocked down the walls, like it just doesn't. You don't feel that overcome with emotion. You don't feel that release or that like finally. It's just not. It's not quite there, unfortunately.
Okay. So
it's not like the moment when Pee-wee finally gets his bike back in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where you're suddenly like, oh man, now these two are together again. Oh boy, what's gonna happen?
Lock up your sons. So Nellie is aware of this affair going on. Kathy is not adept enough at sneaking, and Nellie's not happy about it. She's a little stressed. Later on, she gets even more mad. And similar to the Nelly Furtado song "Promiscuous," she's sick of she's sick of this promiscuous girl. I know where you are, et cetera, et cetera. Promiscuous boy,
Yeah, but she doesn't have the passion
me,
of.
et cetera, et cetera.
She doesn't have the passion of the man-eater from the Nelly Furtado song "Man."
Thank you, Elliot.
Yeah.
You get what I'm going
thank
for
you.
here.
But she saw Kathy turn out the lights, and she knows what's going on.
Okay, so Kathy is sick of Nellie, and she decides to banish at her and kick her out. And Nellie is like, where am I going to go? And Kathy's like, I don't give a shit. And so Nellie goes to Edgar and basically says, she's been having an affair with Heathcliff, which Edgar does the normal thing, which he says, you can't have Heathcliff over anymore. Of course, like I don't want you hanging out with Heathcliff, which I feel like at this time most gentlemen would not be super happy with their wives spending unsupervised time with rakes, right?
Probably not.
What kind of rakes? Like,
but I guess this rake is her adoptive brother. So
wait, let Dan play this out. Let Dan play this out. This joke.
Like the wide ones, with like kind of the flexible end, or like the ones that are more like a hoe. But
I mean, this rake is kind of a hoe. Like he's just giving it up to Kathy wherever.
I
zoned out. Did we talk about has the weird bondage stuff with Isabella happened yet?
We're about to do that now.
It hasn't happened yet.
Kathy and Heathcliff are hooking up. She reveals that she's pregnant, and Heathcliff seems fine with it. But then when they're hooking up, he while they're doing it,
sorry,
he's like,
I just thought of some gross bed talk he could have gotten into.
By all means, let's have it.
I'm going to squirt that baby in the face. Oh, man.
Okay,
If he would have said that, I would have been like, Wuthering Heights, I got to give you credit for being gross.
I can only assume Elliot's based this off of his real life experiences as a father. So.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Not at all. Heathcliff seems fine with it, but then while they're part of his dirty talk is he's like, yeah, I'll go kill Edgar. I'll just go up and kill him right now.
Is my fake dirty talk that I just did any weirder than him being like, yeah, I'm just going to kill your husband. I'm going to lick his blood up. I'm going to kill him right now.
I don't know.
Don't make me choose.
Yeah, okay.
So Kathy obviously still is into it in the time, but during her post-nut clarity, she's like, "Yo, wait, that would cross the line. We
Maybe
can't
don't
do this
kill
no
my
more.
husband. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do this." And she's like, "I can't see anymore. We're done." And Heathcliff's like, "Yeah, whatever. You said that last time." But she seems to mean it. So he's like, "Okay, fuck this." Immediately goes over to Isabella, who is clearly infatuated with him.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm gonna be a piece of shit to you. I'm gonna treat you like crap. I am never gonna love you. Do you want to get married? And she's like, yup.
He keeps saying, and like this is one of the few. Again, there's the Isabella stuff is one of the rare points in the movie where I'm like, this movie is getting into the kind of like stranger passions that it wants to get into. Where like he's undressing her piece by piece, and he keeps being like, I'm gonna be terrible to you. I'm never gonna treat you well. I'm only gonna marry you so I can get at Kathleen. Do you want me to keep going? And she goes, yes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be abominable. Like, I'm going to do all these bad things. You want me to keep going? Yes. And that, like, that's and so they get married. But, like, I like the way that scene is structured where it's not, I'm going to trick Isabella into loving me so I can get back. He's just like, look, I know you're so desperate for anything that you're going to take this, but maybe you like it too. And she's like, yeah, maybe I do like it. Like, it's an interesting place to go.
Yeah. It injects a certain amount of modern, like, sub-dom kink play.
Yeah, they engage in a full sub-dom relationship, which is, even though it is like textually.
Now, by sub-dom you mean submissive and dominant, not submarine sandwich Dom DeLuise, which is a different relationship.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, there's a certain amount of eating in both, but different types of eating. But it's just like this is a part where textually it's kind of unpleasant because like how little he cares for her, but it is like one of the few things that comes close to being kind of sexy, but it's also kind of like a shitty thing to do to the book character Isabella, who like in the book it's not, he just is abusive towards her, and she is like the one character who kind of gets out of there. She's like, I'm not having this. I'm going to escape. She goes off and has like part of a life in London. She eventually dies within the span of the book, but
sure,
off screen, free of these weirdos. And like to a certain degree, I'm like, well, this is unfair to this. This is unfair to this character. I shouldn't be bringing outside stuff, but it's like you're making her so pathetic here versus I
don't know, because I don't know about that, because I think that the thing that changes that for me is the scene also when Nellie goes to visit, and he's treating her like a dog for real. And the way that Alison Oliver is playing it, she seems to genuinely be into this.
No, she's
genuinely
into it.
Enjoying it. And I'm like, this gives this character a sense, because in a dom sub relationship, I only know it academically, but like in a dom sub relationship, the sub has a certain amount of power.
You did your PhD on it.
I did, yeah. It was that and the elasticity of mice. The elasticity of mice in a sub dom relationship. But like the sub has a certain amount of power because they are essentially setting the rules of limits and things like that,
yes.
Right? Like it is based, and it's not like they're not being, when they're being punished or whatever, or being submissive, is because they're getting pleasure out of it. They're driving it in that way. And so I think by making this a pleasurable thing for her, it makes her character much more powerful and has much more agency than she might have been if it was just, it's another victim of Heathcliff's, horrible
Well, if it was
abuse,
just victimization, sure. I'm talking about how she specifically is like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of the book.
She's the one who actually leaves. But what this also means, though, is at the end of this movie, when Nellie comes and like rescues Isabella, it doesn't really make total sense to me, because Isabella, it seems to be, again, super into this moment. And maybe it's Stockholm syndrome. Maybe it's just she's just putting up a show. I don't know. But it feels like I was like, this is again the only other scene where I was like, now this movie is getting into like interesting sexual waters, which is where it wants to be. The most interesting sexual waters, of course, being John Waters, but the movie doesn't get into that,
Oh, fascinating.
You
can write a PhD on that.
Yeah, the elasticity of John Waters in mice,
And I think it a little bit does a disservice to the Heathcliff character, because it effectively absolves him of any wrongdoing here.
I think that's true too. Yeah, which is not right. Yeah,
because that is definitely true of this movie in general. Like, everyone is absolved of wrongdoing in a way where the book is just like, this is kind of a nest of vipers.
Strangely, the one character that seems to be not absolved of wrongdoing is Edgar, the character who is on the surface doing the least amount of anything to anybody. Like he meets a woman, he falls in love with her, he marries her, he has the expectation she's not going to have an affair. Like that's pretty much it, for the most part. I don't know, but the movie seems to treat him as like, ugh, why is he standing in the way of Heathcliff and Kathy? And it's like, well, she did. I mean, she's the one who's not treating him right, So the one weird thing he does is that skin room,
Yeah.
Okay, so as we said, Heathcliff and Isabella get married. They have this relationship. And this, when Kathy finds out, she begs them to stop. But clearly Isabella's into it. And Heathcliff likes to torment Kathy with it. Kathy gets depressed. She stays at home. She doesn't leave her room. Heathcliff feels bad. Like Heathcliff still wants Kathy in his life, even though she can't, even though he wants to torment her, it's only worth it if she's involved still. So he's writing her letters, but whenever those letters show up, Nellie just burns them again. So Kathy loses the child. This causes sepsis and she sickens. They don't catch it until it's far too late. Her legs are all gross and she's all sick. She's dying. So Nellie rushes to Heathcliff and frees Isabella. Heathcliff rushes over, but it's too late. Kathy's already toast. And she bleeds out in a massive spreading pool of blood. I mean, the thing is also when a woman gives birth, there is a lot of blood. So it's like there's a lot of blood in that scene. But I was like, I mean, like a regular birth, there's a fair amount of blood coming out too. So I guess this is dramatic, but it's not. If it was a successful birth, it would not have been blood free. Births are very messy. Yeah, yeah. And again, there's some gross, exciting images here, but whatever. And nothing is exciting. You know what? We did go over. We slid over one of my favorite weird things in it, which is the prawns in aspic that they're serving at one of the meals. There's just huge blocks of aspic with prawns in them, and I just kept thinking about. So do they boil the prawns first and then put them in the aspic?
And for people not familiar with weird foods of olden days that we don't really eat that much anymore, it's like a gelatin mold.
Yeah, it's like a big gelatin block full of prawns.
It's a savory gelatin thing. Yeah, and she like sticks her finger into it.
She just pokes her finger all the way through, like into a prawn's mouth or something like that. Like it's. But anyways,
that's sexy. I want to say that Kathy's death here, the fact that it's related to her miscarriage is a lot more sort of like a reason is given more than in the book, where in the book she's actually mad at her husband seemingly not caring that she is in hysterics, and like she starves herself for a long time. And what I remember about Wuthering Heights most sort of enduringly is that every 30 pages or so, someone would get so emotional that they would fall sick with undisclosed illness. And sometimes they would die of it. Sometimes they would recover and be like weaker forever. But that was what was going on.
I mean, they live in a really
that's actually
damp place.
Why I got sick, guys, is because I was really upset.
You're so
emotional.
You guys weren't complimenting my my latest haircut. And
I'm sorry. Oh no, it looks great. It's
you're not fixing it. I'm dead already.
Oh no.
Oh no. Speaking of dead already, Kathy's dead, and Heathcliff is like, "No, haunt me, come back as a ghost." I always want to think of you forever.
And that's the end of the movie.
And that's the end of the movie. Just him howling in anguish. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
Doesn't really like. I feel like in this version, the like haunt me as a ghost stuff doesn't really land that much because it doesn't connect to anything. Like in the book and presumably in other adaptations and in Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights song, it is about Kathy actually showing up at a certain point and like. It's like, oh, is this actually a ghost? Is this really not?
Better adaptation, the Kate Bush Wuthering Heights song.
Because he does believe she's haunting him, right, in the book?
Well, he wishes for it. He's like he hangs around, kind of waiting for her to haunt him, and she actually like shows up, like the narrator of the book, who is cut for obvious reasons. He's like totally unnecessary. He goes and he sleeps a night at Wuthering Heights and sees Kathy outside the window, and Heathcliff is so like mad that like he missed it. He didn't get the haunting. I mean, and then later at the end he finally sees her. But anyway, spoilers for the book.
Yeah. He wants his screw turned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the part where we do our final judgments, whether this is a good bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie we kind of like. And I want to say, I walked into this, all prepared to like it just fine. Emerald Fennell is a polarizing writer-director, but I have enjoyed her previous work mostly. And, I also like, I mentioned Marie Antoinette earlier. I like movies that take big swings with like, maybe we're going to have some anachronistic elements here. Maybe we're going to have like huge, like stylish visuals. But I would argue that something like Marie Antoinette does that in service of making a point about the material. Whereas here in Wuthering Heights, like I see what she was saying about like, oh, the feeling of reading it. But I think that for the most part, a lot of the big swings kind of fights the material. It doesn't actually feel like it's saying anything about the original. And I just found it so slow that I have to say bad. I just didn't really enjoy watching this at all.
Yeah, for something that's dealing with big passions, I find it to be kind of dull and a bit lifeless. I feel like there's no like build up. It feels very it feels, and most of the choices feel so obvious. I as well am a bit of a Emerald Fennell apologist with the previous movies, but this one doesn't work. And I was also disappointed that like I generally like Charlie XCX stuff when utilized in movies, and I feel like even the soundtrack was a little bit weak. So I'm going to say bad.
I feel like for me, it doesn't quite fit into our categories exactly. Of all of them, it would be bad, I guess, because I did find it, like you guys described, a little lifeless and kind of disappointing, less in that like, well, this isn't the story of Wuthering Heights, but instead, I'm not a Dan McCoy, but instead more,
I really wouldn't have cared if the movie worked. It's only that it didn't, that I'm like, well, you've replaced the stuff that I enjoyed with dumb stuff. If you replace it with stuff I enjoyed well, that would be fine.
I hope you're hungry for nothing.
But like, I think going into it, I think I expected it to be more shocking and more out there and kind of like pushing buttons, and I was really disappointed that it wasn't. And I think if the things that like, I think you're right that some of the stylistic things are fighting what's actually going on in the story and what these characters are doing. But if those things had been so like such big swings, then I might have been like, you know what? It feels like she is laying another movie on top of that story, and she's at least using it as an opportunity to do really big, really memorable things. And I wish that there was more. It was like, there's so many good people who worked on this, and there's so much good little pieces in it. Like there's pieces of the art design, pieces of the wardrobe, pieces of the like some of the performances, like some of the moments that I like, and it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking movie, but it just, I wish it either worked better dramatically or it was a more out there thing. Like if I was watching it and every couple minutes I was like, really? Okay. Like if it was
in this economy,
if it was challenging me more with the things it was doing, but instead, it felt a little like, I hate to say it, but it feels like a safe version of a like taboo busting movie. Where
exactly.
Like I was saying, at the beginning of the movie, you see someone get hung and everyone's pointing out how he has an erection, and then you see people just start making out and mounting each other in the town square, and I'm like, well, she did it. That's the move. Like, there's nothing more that she can reach. There's nowhere to build from there. Like, this is already a society suffused in death and sex, and there's no subtext to it, and there's no. Once you've done that, it was hard for her to top that in terms of like outrageousness. I wish it was a more outrageous movie, basically. So
like
I'm gonna. So what?
Truly outrageous.
Like which one?
Jem.
The
musician Jem.
She's truly outrageous. Truly outrageous.
I think reached the limits of my frame of reference culturally. But I think
I've been pondering a Jim mini because I've watched so much Jim and become so weirdly into it. But
this is Jem and the Holograms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a new person named Jem.
No.
I think I didn't know that song because I haven't watched a Jem and the Holograms.
This is why I got to explain Jem and the Holograms to you guys.
But I think you surely should. But I think I guess it's a bad, but it's like not terrible. It's just not. It's just kind of a misfire, you know. Misfire. You'll get caught up in the misfire. It's the Crossfire song.
Yeah, as we come flying out on, I don't know.
Little hoverboards, yeah.
Yeah.
And a kid with fingerless leather gloves is going, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a commercial.
Hey, it's John Moe, and I host Depeche Mode and Sleeping with Celebrities, and I'm here with Max Fun Member of the Month, Kara Barnett.
Hi, John. It's great to talk to you.
We appreciate your support, Kara. How long have you been listening to the show?
I've been listening to Depeche Mode since the first promo came out with Patton Oswalt. I've been listening since the very first episode.
Now, Kara, as our Max Fun Member of the Month, you'll be getting some prizes here. A $25 gift card to the Maximum Fun store, a special Member of the Month bumper sticker, and get this, a parking spot at Max Fun headquarters in Los Angeles just for you, just for a month or so.
Well, that's so exciting. If only I lived in Los Angeles. But I got my eye on some stuff in the Max Fun store.
Kara Barnett, thank you for being a listener, and congratulations on being this month's Member of the Month.
I hear the Member of the Month promos all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I can't wait for my friends who listen to Max Fun shows to hear me on the radio, because I haven't told any of them.
Support the shows you love, including this one. Check the show notes for a link or go to MaximumFun.org/join.
Hello, this is Alden Ford.
And Mujan Zulfagari.
Two of the creators of Mission to Zix, your favorite improvised, obsessively sound-designed sci-fi sitcom here on the Max Fun Network. And the news is...
We're back! With an all-new miniseries set in the Zix universe. The Young Old Durf Chronicles.
Yeah.
Will Durf find his own killer before it's too late?
Ooh.
To find out how that question could possibly make sense, well, you just have to tune in.
Yeah, and as always, it's ambitious and labor-intensive to a frankly absurd degree.
Indeed.
So, if you are looking for a little break from your own galaxy, we would love for you to check it out.
That's the Young Old Durf Chronicles. Search Mission to Zix, ZYXX, in your podcast app.
Or on MaximumFun.org.
Keep it fresh.
If you're anything like me, Dan McCoy of the Flophouse, you got trouble sleeping. Oh, man, you should see all the things I put on my body to sleep. I got a special pillow. I got a CPAP machine. Sometimes I wear a sleep headphones. I got an eye shade so I can block out all of the infernal lights that everyone puts on anything these days. Sleep can be hard, but you know what? It's easy when you're sleeping on a Leesa mattress. The best hack for sleep might be just what you're sleeping on. And I have heard from many person, as well as, like a lot of ratings online, that people are happy with these Leesa mattresses. They've got a lineup of beautifully crafted mattresses that are tailored to how you sleep. Each is designed with specific sleep positions and feel preferences in mind. If you're like me, if you're a side sleeper, because in my case, again, helps with sleep apnea, you want something that's going to cradle you in the right way so your shoulders don't get all messed up. Leesa has different types of mattresses for different sleepers. They're meticulously designed and assembled in the USA for exceptional quality, and they back it up with free shipping, easy returns, and a 120-night sleep trial. And Leesa isn't just about sleep, they're about impact. They work with local nonprofits across the U.S. to donate thousands of mattresses each year to families in need, with over 43,000 mattresses donated to date. That's a lot of people sleeping. Go to Leesa.com for 30% off select mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code FLOP, exclusive for our listeners. That is LEESA.com, promo code FLOP for 30% off select mattresses, plus an extra $50 off. Support our show and let them know we sent you after checkout. Leesa.com, promo code FLOP.
Before we move on, I wanted to take a moment to tell people that Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense, my joke writing book from the University of Chicago Press, is now available in audiobook form. Let's say you don't want to read it with your eyes. Let's say you want to listen to my mellifluous tones as they read the book to you while you do other things. Now you can do just that. Joke Farming, the audiobook, as read by me, the author, but I didn't read it that way, is available wherever you can buy and download audiobooks. Please do buy it, listen to it, share it. It has all of my joke writing wisdom in one place for you, and I hope you enjoy.
Let's answer some letters from listeners. Before we get into the letters proper, I wanted to acknowledge an outpouring from several people who wrote or tweeted. I'm not going to use a new word for tweeting, even though I'm not on X anymore for a long time.
Dan, what are we talking about?
Many people contacted the podcast in many different ways to say how they were confused when listening to the 40 Days and 40 Nights episode because they had either confused that movie with 6 Days, 7 Nights.
With Harrison Ford and Anne Heche, yeah.
Or 30 Days of Night, which is also a Josh Hartnett film.
Also it's Josh Hartnett, yeah.
Yeah, more understandable to me.
That's that movie where Danny Houston's always trying to do it, right?
But I found this both amusing and it was just another sort of indication of like, oh, I'm not like other humans because like I would never confuse these things. But that's because I'm too plugged into every dumb fucking movie that's been made and I remember what they are. Yeah. Several people were like, when are they going to start talking about the vampires?
Dan, is it possible for you to be a professional movie trivia guy? Because I think you would be great at it.
I think you would be great at it, yeah.
You should get on
is that
Colin
show Beat
Jost.
the Geeks still on?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Beat the Geeks is not still
Pop Culture
on,
Jeopardy is kind of that. And I think you do pretty good. You just need to team up with somebody who doesn't do just movies. Like, you should find somebody who's like up on, I don't know, modern, are you up on modern? What's your weak point in pop culture trivia?
I mean, there's like a lot of like modern like internet personalities I would have no context for.
Yeah, so team up with somebody who's into like YouTube.
So team up with like an 8-year-old, yeah.
Like several aging would-be hipsters I gave up on music about 10 years ago.
So listeners, if you know any 8-year-olds who should team up with Dan for Pop Culture Jeopardy, just send them in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like,
Dan, what are your pop culture weak points? He's like, anything after I was 32 years old. Like, okay, that's just part of growing up, Dan.
Well, I mean, to a large degree. I mean, I'm still, I think, up on movies and TV. But,
sure, yeah.
Hey, let's get into the meaty letters, though. I just wanted to acknowledge how amused I was at how many people. Like, there were like 7 or 8 people who contacted with that, which means that, sample size, there has to be like 100 people.
There must have been at least 1,000 people who thought we were going to talk about vampires, yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
Or Harrison Ford.
Or Harrison Ford and Haitian, a plane crash somewhere?
Yeah,
I think
that was the movie
crash somewhere.
That I saw it, and the people came in after the movie being like, we're sorry that the movie theater flooded while you were watching this. Here, have some free tickets. And my friend Matt and I were like, what? And we looked down and we're like, oh, there's water on the floor.
You were just so caught up in the movie. You were so transported by it. That's the mark of a good film. Yeah.
This one's from Brian, last name withheld, this letter. It
Brian
goes like this. Dan's mention of Time Bandits on the Gabby's Dollhouse episode reminded me that I've seen Time Bandits at least 3 times from start to finish. And the only things I can remember
3 Time
about
Bandits.
The only things I can remember, what is that even? What is it?
I'm just bothering you. It's nothing. Literally meaningless.
The only things I can remember about it are 1, John Cleese is in it, and 2, so are a bunch of little people. Are there any movies that you've watched multiple times and managed to retain almost no information about? Flop hard, Brian, last name withheld. That's interesting to me because Time Bandits, I feel like, has so many indelible images, like the giant
like the
with
arm
a ship
wrestling
on his
and
head.
the guy getting his arm ripped off in the arm wrestling match.
Does that happen?
I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
But that's in the Robin Hood sequence. But that's pretty. It's a
Sean
quick
Connery as like a
as
pharaoh.
Agamemnon.
No, Agamemnon,
I was thinking more of like the cages hanging in a vast void that they have to swing across.
Pure evil.
The parents
Pure evil
exploding,
spinning, puffing up like a ball and spinning around and everything. Yeah,
That's a fucking sick move. Like if I get caught in jumped in an alley by some toughs, I'm gonna puff up like a big ball.
Yep.
I don't know that there are movies that I've seen multiple times that I don't retain anything for. I have noticed since I've been doing Letterboxd, pretty religiously, like there have been a couple times when I start watching a movie or think about watching a movie, and then I go to my own Letterboxd. I'm like, oh, I saw this. Like it has been erased from my mind, but I've definitely nothing is like interesting as time bans. I don't mean to like make fun of the writer of this letter, but
that's the closest you get to a Memento situation is you check your Letterboxd and you're like, I saw this movie already.
Yeah.
What? I think I have this experience with some movies that I watched as a kid. There's some movies I watched as a kid, like Gremlins, that just imprinted, or RoboCop, that imprinted themselves in my mind, and I remember them in such detail, even
so
not
like
having
super good movies.
Yes. But then there's movies like, I know as a kid I watched Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend a lot because it has a dinosaur in it. I remember almost nothing about it, and almost nothing that happens in it.
I bet if you watched it now, you would be like, I remember everything.
Only one way to find out. Dan, cue it up.
Fire it up.
But
I mean, that would kind of be a good nostalgia pick for us, I think. But
maybe, yeah. But that could be a good flop TV season, is movies from our childhood that we don't remember that well.
Yeah.
But I think otherwise, there's movies I've seen like once. I know I've seen the movie Stage Fright, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, because I remember a couple moments from it, but otherwise I don't remember most of the movie. And there's a few movies like that where I saw it once, and I know I've seen it, and yet somehow I retain very little. But mostly it's movies I watched when I was young that they just weren't, I guess, good enough to stick in my head, But Stuart, do you have anything like that?
I feel like there's like entries in large franchises that I'm like, I've probably only seen like one or two, and I've actually seen all of them, but I can't think of anything specific here. But real quick, so if my secret move is blowing up as a ball to defend myself, how would that compare to your move, Elliot? The Eradicator, the Eliminator?
The Liberator.
The Liberator, yeah.
The Liberator, well, we haven't talked about this in years. This is a move that I dreamed in a dream once, that a friend of the podcast, Brendan Hay, and I, in the dream, we're in a fight with two people. And I said to the person I was paired up with, have a taste of the Liberator. And it was just a straight leg kick right up into the other person's crotch, kind of like in Train Spotting. There's a kick like that, but they don't call it the Liberator. So, yeah, I think the two of us, I think we're in a fight. I'll be on offense, you'll be on defense, you'll puff up into a big ball, and I'll just straight leg kick everybody in the crotch. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's a good team.
Yeah. But what's the name of your puff move?
That's a good call. I'm going to say the puffer fish would be super accurate, but it doesn't sound as cool. So I would say probably Maximum Defender.
That's great. I love it. Yeah.
Okay, and this next letter, I was trying to find the writer of it. I apologize. It seems to have not made its way into my document.
Well,
Richard Bachman.
It did arrive at your house in a bottle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This person says, I want to point out a Flophouse reference made by Jim Carrey in Sonic 3. In the moment where Grandpa Egghead used nanotech to create a giant mechanical hand, Egghead says, ooh, a nanofist. Haven't seen that since I watched Green Lantern in 2011. Now, this seems like a stretch, but if you go back and listen to your episode on Green Lantern in 2011, it is mentioned that Dan got a Sonic game for his iPad. So I find this not to be a coincidence, but the great Jim Carrey shouting you guys out.
Oh,
probably loves you
Matrix,
guys.
Yeah.
So thank you for
thanks,
drawing
Jim.
those connections in red twine on the wall. I appreciate it. But we should move on to recommendations, movies that perhaps would be a better use of your time than Wuthering Heights, which we were all at best mixed on. I'm going to recommend a movie that I saw at the most recent Ridiculous Sublime at the Nighthawk last night. Stuart was briefly intrigued by this one, but he's got a lot of travel. He's been sick. He didn't make it.
Yeah, I'm sad about it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm just doing this to taunt you.
Yeah, every time I see after a ridiculous Sublime screening, I see Dan post about it in Letterboxd. I'm like, fuck, I was supposed to go to that.
This is from 1989. It is the movie Communion, based on the book of the same name.
By Whitley Strieber.
Yeah, the one that purports to be a true tale of his alien abduction, but was written by the man who wrote Wolfen, and what was the other thing he wrote? There's it was a vampire. Oh, The Hunger. So this is
I forgot he wrote The Hunger. Oh yeah,
he wrote those two books, and then he wrote Communion. He's like, no, but this one's real. I'm like, I don't think so. But it's
nice try.
An early ish, UFO abduction narrative, and this movie version of it stars Christopher Walken as a supposedly normal author before he gets abducted, but he is totally Christopher Walkening the whole time. Like, he is going nuts in this movie. If you want to see unleashed Christopher Walken, where he's like, I'm not going to say anything normal. Like, he's great in it. He's a lot of fun. The movie's kind of weird how it doesn't really go much of anywhere. It's like Christopher Walken slowly realizes that he was abducted and probed and has memories about it.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. There's a funny kind of half resolution at the end that I don't want to spoil for anyone because it's so silly. But this is like all of the ridiculous Sublime movies. It walks the line of there's a lot in here that's funny because it's just what is going on? This is a weird, and a lot of it that kind of genuinely works, even though I don't it's grounded in supposed realism that is, again, thrown off kilter by Christopher Walken's strangeness. And then all of the effects are goofy, but goofy in a way that is really charming. So I'm not recommending it as a movie that totally works like a normal movie would, but as a fun experience,
I think that would be great. I think that would be a recommendation that doesn't hold up to scrutiny if you were recommending it that way.
Yeah. So Communion, 1989.
I mean, it's a movie that you're recommending that was screened as part of the Ridiculous Sublime series.
Yes.
Feel like that does most of the work. Since we're talking about stories like love stories of obsession and desire, I thought I'd talk about another love story that actually doesn't need my help at all because it's doing some boffo-bo. I'm talking about the movie Obsession, the horror movie from Curry Barker, doing big old numbers.
Mm-hmm. People are obsessed with it.
And I think it's really great. It's really fun. The premise is a kind of cowardly, wimpy dude who's a real nice guy, though, is obsessed with his he's obsessed with a longtime friend of his in the friend group, and he wants to ask her out, but he doesn't have the guts, so he breaks a one-wish willow to allow him to get his wish for her to love him more than anyone else in the world, and it immediately goes crazy. And it's great, and it's weird. It ends up being way weirder than I thought it would be because I feel like it's a fairly straightforward premise that they expand on in kind of interesting directions, and it's all anchored by just an incredible performance from the lead actress whose name I can't remember, but she's so good in it. It's really great. And the lighting is incredible. The lighting is really good in it. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to see something a little bit quasi, check it out.
I am going to recommend. So this is a semi-qualified recommendation. So that I was thinking with Wuthering Heights, I wanted the movie to be sleazier a little bit, right? It was still a little too respectable and dignified for what I think it was trying to do. Luckily, I happened to watch a movie recently, which I think is one of the sleaziest, professionally made movies I've seen in maybe ever, but in a long time. And I was wondering, Dan, have you ever seen this movie? It's 52 Pickup with Roy Scheider. And I was watching it and I was like, the whole time I was like, Dan would like this. This movie is a sleaze fest. But but it's Roy Scheider plays a very unlikable rich guy who starts being blackmailed because of an affair he's having. His wife is about to run for city council in LA, and he starts being blackmailed for having this affair. And the people blackmailing him are the sleaziest bunch of guys. He's really sleazy. Like and things just keep descending and getting worse for him, and he doesn't really know how to handle this. But the bad guys in it are such fun characters. And the lead bad guy is played by John Glover, who I will always be, for me, Daniel Clamp from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, and Gremlins 2.
He's sorry, what did I say? Ghostbusters, Gremlins 2. I'm sorry, Gremlins 2. But in this one, he's playing this bad guy who also has a heavy Baltimore accent.
Yeah,
and it's such a funny choice. And he's such a villain who is a total slimeball. Is very articulate and thinks he's very charismatic, but is just a very off-putting sleazeball. And he's just so fun to watch in it, and he's such a horrible person in it.
He's also really a great villain, I think, because you immediately see this guy and hear him talking. You're like, this guy's an idiot. But the problem is you underestimate him at your peril. He's he's not a genius criminal or anything, but he's a lot wilier than this guy's prepared to deal with. The lead. So it causes him more trouble. And yeah, this is John Frankenheimer directed this, right?
John Frankenheimer directed it.
And it's an Elmer Leonard.
Yeah, John Frankenstein directed it. So John Frankenstein, it's based on Elmer Leonard, and it's a Golden Globus movie, and apparently, or Canon Films. Apparently, they had adapted this Elmer Leonard movie, the Elmer Leonard book already, into a movie called The Ambassador, which I have not seen, and they changed it so much that John Frankenheimer read the book and was like, "I want to make a movie of this book," and they're like, "We did already." He's like, "Well, let me do it again, and I'll make it slightly more like the book." And it's basically the story about a rich guy who's blackmailed by a bunch of pornographers, and it's just the movie keeps twisting in ways that are not necessarily surprise shock twists, but are ways where I'm like, well, that's not exactly the way I thought this story was going to go. And the bad guys in it are just John Glover's performance is so fun. He's such a terrible person. He's such a charmingly terrible person.
This one, but
anyway, it's super sleazy. It's not one to watch with your parents. It's just it's a
you don't know my parents.
That's true. But watching this right around the time I was watching Wuthering Heights, I was like, oh, I wish Wuthering Heights had more of this kind of for lack of a better word, sleaze factor, and John Glover's performance, I think the choice for him to do it with this accent makes everything his character says that much more fun. And so if there is ever a movie, the same way that, what's his face? The Superman who had the mustache, and they had to blot out his mustache.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's mustache in the Mission Impossible movie is a character choice that helps make that movie. I feel like John Glover's accent in this movie helps make this movie into something a little better. So it's a real slimy movie. So I would recommend that if you want a taste, want a heaping dose of sleaze. It's 52 pickup.
Who does it? So, that's it for this episode. Before we go, we should thank our producer, Alex Smith. Check out his work under the name Howell Doughty if you like podcasts. And I think you do if you're listening to this one. And music, Twitch streams, he does them all. Thank you to our network, Maximum Fun. If you go over to MaximumFun.org, there are a lot of great shows in the network. Check out at least one other one, why don't you? See if you like it. But for the Flophouse, which is this podcast, I have been Dan McCoy.
I've been Stuart Wellington.
And I'm Elliot Kalin.
Bye.
Let's go weather some heights, guys.
Yeah.
I'm recording here on the local.
Oh, wow. You're doing a cool little Werner Herzog
This
voice.
is what it's not really
That's not
Werner
really a
Herzog
Werner
at all.
Herzog.
No, it's German.
it sounds like
but
him, right?
otherwise
More
does
of
not sound like him at all.
Cartoon villain.
This is closer to maybe the MC in Cabaret.
No, it sounds more like the bad guy from Reacher or Jack Reacher, I guess.
I feel like it's someone who'd be oh, Indiana Jones, well.
Maximum Fun.
A worker-owned network
Of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.